So hey, it's June. I'm back from Michigan. It was really great to see Brady and to have him be in the vlog. I know in January I mentioned I love Fireflies, and June is the beginning of Firefly season in Michigan. Back in 2005, there was this conference in Utah called the National Organic Symposium, and they always have a keynote speaker who talks about his life's work. And so this was the first chemistry conference I had gone to, and all I remember is Jerry Meinwald just sitting in a rocking chair telling his life story of how he had researched all the different insects and all of the chemistry that went along with the insects, and specifically fireflies, and the luminescence of fireflies, and how these steroid compounds that were responsible for the luminescence were only found in males, and how the females had to eat the males to get the luminescent compounds, and how that was so gross but so fascinating. And I don't know, I just really was seduced by the idea that you could study something so cool and understand it on such a very intricate, detailed level. I think that's what solidified my decision to go to grad school, honestly. I do love fireflies. They're fun to see. They're fun to look at. If you live in a place with fireflies, like, go and see the fireflies and be excited about that much science happening right there in nature for you. It is time to talk about motivation. This is something that I still struggle with, staying motivated on a task, but I do have a couple tips that I've picked up. First is to make things measurable and therefore trackable. So I'm extremely motivated by data. If I can make a graph of something, then that is very gratifying. And so I think that this is how a lot of people work. That's why there's programs like Jawbone and Fitbit for health and Duolingo for languages. You're accountable. You're accountable to a system that tells you whether or not you are having a trend of success. If you're old school like me, you keep your data in an Excel sheet and you graph it with a graphing program. If you're not old school like me, you're doing some pretty cool things with software out there. But trackable, measurable goals are a way to stay motivated because you don't want to mess up a trend. My second tip is, in case you're not motivated by data, or you can't make something super measurable and broken down into a quantifiable, repetitive bit. And so for these goals, I find it useful to make lists. So I'll list out all of my specific tasks and do as small of a doable task as possible. And so this is possible to do for writing papers, or finishing your resume, or writing a grant, or working up data. And so you can just be this section needs to be done, this outline needs to be done, and just make a bunch of tasks, as long as you believe your tasks are fluid. And so if I don't get a certain bunch of tasks done on Monday, I can move them to Tuesday, and so on. In terms of making these lists, they work really well, again, if you're motivated by lists. But if you're not motivated by lists, the other tip here is to just define success. So let's say I have a whole bunch of things on my list. I'm going to pick one thing on that list that's going to be success. And I'm going to be today, success will be working up my data from yesterday afternoon. And if I can get that done, that's going to be success. Everything else is just bonus. And so that really makes you feel pretty motivated because you already did what you said you were going to do, and you're ahead of schedule. There is no motivation fairy. To stay motivated, you have to find that intrinsically. And to find that intrinsically, you have to put in a system that you know works for you, where you are this is how I stay motivated. I hope you have great systems in place. If you don't, you can use some of mine, and if you have great things that I haven't listed, feel free to let me know. I hope you have a Firefly-filled June and a motivated summer, and I will see you in July. Bye!